Hey everyone, and this is a short and shoddy homebrew journey video, so no titles, no nonsense. All I'm going to do is get straight into it. So what I'm doing is I have got my British Golden Ale. Is that clear enough for you? I think it is. This is Twinkle's Half Time. I've been calling it Half Cut because I forgot what I called it, but it's Half Time. And I'm just going to go through a quick video showing you how to bottle beer. Simple as. I will just say before we cut away to the bottling bit that I've cleaned everything, rinsed everything out, give it a good scrub with a bit of a pokey brush like that. Hot water rinse, cold water rinse, star sand, and now they're down on the floor, ready for some of the goodness to go in. So let's get moving on with the sugar additions. Okay, so there's my bottles all ready to go, all nice and clean. And what I do is, because these are 500ml bottles, what I do is I've got a bag of caster sugar, normal caster sugar, and I put half a teaspoon with my little measuring thingy-doo-dah there into each bottle. And after 3 or 4 weeks, they sort of tend to be pretty well carbonated. Well, if you've seen some of the tasting videos, some are better than others. But yeah, it's half a teaspoon of sugar, and then we can start getting the liquid into the bottle. So let's get some sugar in. Yeah, funnel's really helpful. Right, so I'm ready to go now. So there's my beer, nice and clear, British Golden Ale, about 3.5%ish. So what I have is I've got an auto siphon and I've got a little bottling one there. So it's got a little push thing on. So that goes into the bottom of the bottle and that goes into the beer. And what we're trying to do is, because most of the sediment will be on the bottom of the demijohn there, so what we're trying to do is when we put the wand into the siphon into the beer, is we try and take from the top all the way down. So that way we're getting the clearest beer. There's not much sediment in that, so it doesn't really matter today. But there should be enough yeast in there still when it hits the sugar in the bottles to carbonate the beer. So just when you do bottle, just try and make sure that you take the best beer off the top. I got that sort of little tip from a bloke at Lancaster Brewery who said that's how the industrial ones do it. They take it from the top, so there's always some left at the bottom. So let's get bottling. A wand. Okay. So put my little clip. So I've got my little clip on, so it stops the wand. You can see, because the wand's nice, the beer's nice and clear, that the wand is there, and the siphon is there, sorry. So my wand is in the bottle. I'm going to push down and give it a couple of pumps, and then I'm going to take the clip off, and I am going to follow the beer down with the siphon. And now, the bottling wand takes up some of the volume in the bottles. So when the liquid gets to the very top of the bottle, you pull the wand out and you'll find that the neck of the bottle is clear, which is a good thing. So you always know that you get a more or less accurate measure in your bottles. Right, so as you can see, we're getting to the end of the thing now. So what we need to do is just give it a bit of a tip like that, and then we carry on. Well, this actually, I might get 10 bottles. There we go, perfect. 10 bottles with barely anything left, and there's a little bit of sediment on the bottom, but it doesn't matter. And if you got into the bottles, it wouldn't matter because it'd clear out. So now we have to get onto the old labelling. I'll show you how I do my labels. Right, so here we are. We're just ready to bottle. There's all my bottles ready to go. I managed to get 9 in the end out of that demijohn. So 4.5 litre demijohn, 9 500ml bottles. That's great. So here's the labels that I put on. So what I have is the name, then the style. This was the date I was supposed to really properly check it, but I didn't. I checked it after maybe 10 days, and because there's the gravities you see. So the original gravity 1035, final gravity 1008. It wasn't going any lower than that, so I didn't need to check it after that date. So there's my gravities. That's the yeast that I used, and then here are the hop additions. So we've got at 15 minutes 10 grams of East Kent Goldings, and at 45 minutes 10 grams of East Kent Goldings, and they'll go on the bottles, and then I'll put a little label on top with a drinking date, earliest drinking date, and that's it. That's how I do my bottling stuff, really. So there you go, there's a short and shoddy video on how I do my bottling and hopefully a bit of conditioning. If you keep an eye out on YouTube in 3 or 4 weeks for the tasting video, it'll be up. If you're Instagram a nerd, you can see a photo every day or so of something brewery I'm doing. That's at the hashtag the Homebrew Journey, and that's basically it. So as usual, you can like and subscribe, and you can leave a comment if you want. But until then, why don't you go out and bottle some beer?